adjustments. Even grabbing the vehicles will be late.
I'm looking a little bit towards Georgia Paul. I want to see where they split apart. I don't think teams will be right on top of each other, but I am a little curious if someone gets close. It looks like VC and Genji are quite close by, and I'm wondering where they head towards. I imagine one will take Georgia Paul Town itself, the other may go Hospital or the fields below, look for the vehicles. And again, we look towards a military island. That is certainly up for grabs. FaZe may be considering that, but they are not alone.
There'll be other teams that you'll see Xiongyan just jumping last so he can get a read on where FaZe exactly are, make sure no one else is with them, and by doing so, feed all that information back. As a small little update, when we came into this throughout the semi-finals, when we look towards teams' performances on Erangel, out of the top 5 teams, 4 of them are sitting on either 0 points or 1. The tables have turned when it comes to map count and individual performances on this one. Nikki, get out of the dodge there, fella. SLR's just ringing a loud circle.
Okay.
It's a bit more kind of this time, Lauren.
Yeah, you're looking at center point being maybe Everest or just where Sharp Shot may be, so just south of Everest or the hill, the mountain, whatever you want to call it. It's around that marker, so everyone can play to that. I don't think anyone's too upset. Uh-oh.
No.
Speaking of upset, oh no. Oh no! You gotta be. Oh, Iroh! Iroh's made of steel. How's he alive? He got bumped then.
Oh no.
Michael, get in the car.
Michael,
Get in the damn car, Michael!
Uber's here. Your rating is dropping. Run, run, TSM, run!
Oh
They're
no!
taking them up a distance.
Please, TSM, just get out of there. Just make it away. Flee for your damn lives. Michael is barely breathing. Look at the HP on him. Oh.
It's the danger of finding a home position over on the east, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to get the vehicles and go to, more than likely, Milter, maybe even Farm if they want to hurry up because Circle's over there, but you always run the risk. You want to go for a player like that, there will be teams that happily try and take advantage.
All right. All of Europe, please take a breath now. It's okay. They have made it away. You're all right. You're all right.
This is fine.
Calm it down. This is
fine.
And yeah, Lazarus, if you want to look at the NA side of the coin, they had a rough beginning. I want to see Lazarus do well. They were the slow build for me, but I couldn't ignore Purdy Curdy's performance. He was a force to be reckoned with.
There's something to be said, and I agree with what I think James brought up on the desk ever so slightly. It was minorly overshadowed by FaZe's performance. No one ever expected that. Well, I say it's FaZe Sunday. Some of us did expect it. It's one of those things that just happens. But it was a world-class stellar performance to turn up in the very final match to be here. But Lazarus absolutely killed it. They came top of the table. Purdy Curdy stepped up to the plate. They put North America on the map, and that's what I like to see. We've always thrown memes and jokes around NA, EU, LOL, all that stuff. But they did fantastic, and now they're on home turf. They need to do the same again. We need to see a zero-to-hero performance because getting nothing, absolutely nil point whatsoever, when Genji's just picked up 23, you're already at a 23-point deficit behind the current leader. Quick math.
Crushed it. I am looking across the board here. This should be a calmer game. Again, that was just a wild one because of that ridiculous shift. It set the tone beyond what we'd imagine. We look across the board here, and this is where teams need to calm down. Take a breath themselves. That was a harsh game to play out, no matter where you ended. We are seeing a couple of the very early teams moving. That 4-minute mark does ring the bell for a couple who maybe got their boots on the ground early. The Rumblers, for example, might be getting a little action as they cross. I'm sure a couple of shots could come through if they don't scout it, but they are a team who will scout. And as much as they are a very explosive, unpredictable team, they're pretty darn smart.
One of your big factors in this game will be Everest, or the Georgia Paul Mountain, just to the south, whatever you want to call it. It gives teams a really good vantage point to get themselves not only in the center of the circle, but to be able to see what's going on onwards from you, what's in front of you, what's behind, where a team's rotating. The line of sight and the vantage points that you gain from taking control of that and being up there first is fantastic. There is a downfall to it in the fact that you can get blocked off if you want to come off of that mountain. If the circle's unfavorable, you have to make a big old run. There could be teams at the foothill. Jerry Poppins, 2 players dying like that. I'm assuming he's blown a vehicle up, potentially. Either that or they've just arrived and he's bang them dead to rights on arrival. Let me have a look across the map.
He was up in the north. They were moving down from Zaki, and they just got themselves into a very nice position. They scouted correctly, but Leo's got a bit of a beat on it. Gets the glimpse, and now adjust because Microfry and Lost HD are making their move. GEX, they have had a rough beginning to some of their games. They've been getting a lot of early engagements, and this may not be anything other than par for the course for them now. Microfry and Lost HD can provide big angles. Keep GEX very, very sullen here.
Depends what they want to do. We'll take a look at their rotation from Zaki. Start all the way up in the north, the northwest, and work their way down to the position that they're in now. Need to play it cautious and careful. If you do go down at this point, you'll be behind a window. Your teammate will come and get the revive. So GEX shouldn't be able to confirm any of the rumblers whatsoever. If they do, it means they're completely exposed and out of position. 4 AM making a push. There is a team up here.
There's
they
a
have
lot
to
of
be
teams
careful.
around
VC
here.
is lingering just on the hillside here, and Tempo Storm also chomping at the bit below them.
I'm a little scared for 4 AM. There's a lot of teams in this position. They've seemed to kind of thread the needle and make it through, I guess, the pack, you could argue. They could pick up the double graze. I don't know where they fancy heading to. It's a nice little position if they can get it, which they can. I see a couple more shots, but they're far enough away that I don't see too much of an issue. Already a couple of players. It's just getting themselves into a nice position.
It's houses and compounds like this what make VC's life a little bit harder should the circle be very unfavorable to them. Coming down from there to evacuate the scene, if you're looking for hard cover, you do tend to crash these buildings or at least go by them. And when they have full teams stacked up inside looking outside the windows, it's usually death on arrival or death flying by. Na'Vi, this is the hillside where you do have the little Harry Potter tower just to the south. Again, gives them a good amount of vantage point, but no one really will be out in the fields. It will be open and vast. T1, they'll lock down the radio tower. Again, wide open areas, wide open spaces, very hard to push this. You can look for rotations and look around, but you have to work off the sides with the vehicles once the circle does pop, but still. With the 2 here, where's the other 2 actually perpendicular? Okay, so they're on the other side. They're over on the actual west coast. So this is good for them because that gives them a backup plan should the circle actually pop that way.
Well, we did see that nice 2-2 split towards the end for them previously. So they seem to operate well. FaZe going on the south to west rotation up that western coast. They've made it across the military island themselves. They can position up. They might run into that 2-2 if they keep heading this way. Again, enters Force. Kind of similar path here, heading across the island, but I wonder if they're going to be more kind of just as the crow would fly, just straight in, or they go on that western swing themselves.
Teams late to the party. Enters Force, currently all the way down south, just coming off of the bridge on Sosnovka. TSM all the way on the east, moving up past the Potato Hillside. Tags onto Lost HD.
Do they know Microfry's that close? I don't think they've been able to spot him out.
I suppose that's the advantage of having 2 players to the north, right? They can distract them and let Microfry potentially get up close and personal. He'll be able to walk as the bullets do rain back. The only way he gets spotted here is either by the lower little building where he's looking now, and that's why he's creeping.
Oh, this could be
slowly
so sick.
but surely. With the 2 times, it only gives him a little bit of range, but more importantly, he can take the engagements. That's why it's gone. Iron sights.
Is Lost HD baiting for him? Hold on, this could be so sick. If Lost HD is baiting the noise, baiting everything, Microfry now on the engage is going to move forward. He's caught them with nades in their hand! That is ingenious from the Rumblers. I absolutely adore this. Now the Rumblers are at the door and they're breaching. They're scrappy and they're dangerous. They get the flush, and now one man is alive upstairs, nades in hand, cowering to try and stay alive, but he is being swarmed.
There's also a potential here that he pulls the pin and denies. As soon as he hears them on the stairs, he will either run into them. There we go, pin's gone. Where's it gonna go? He's throwing it, hoping the door's open.
Oh, he didn't get it through. He didn't get it through the door. He put down that smoke and it's not paid dividends. Jai Wei is in danger. He's safe in this room. Until then, good night, GEX. The Rumblers wanted that building, they've got it, and now they can move forward.
Microfry creeps up, Lost HD gets the vehicle, it becomes the bait, but more importantly, it hides the footsteps. He's allowed to move, kills one downstairs, then all 4 players crush onto the building and wipe them out. We've already lost 1 team. 10 minutes into the game, enters Ace. It's going to be a slow crawl up the hill, boys. I hope you're ready for the teams that will be looking onwards, because 4 angry men are very angry after the previous game and getting only 1 point. VC Gaming, they were actually up here, so they've evacuated the scenario. They have accidentally knocked one. That's a beautiful headshot at distance.
4 AM, we want to see big performances in Helen continuing where they left off. Helen's a beast! Ragnar goes, Rebo goes. W-Clicker left in tatters. Helen is coming alive in these moments. Maybe a big game player is what we're seeing here. The flush is inevitable. I don't think there's even recovery or revenge allowed.
It's just not possible. They're across the road, unfortunately. To run this would be a very open gauntlet.
Oh,
they may potentially just give it up for the greater good. It's going to be... Oh, are they actually going to try and fight back for some...
No.
Surely you can't hit that head on. I mean, if they do, I respect it. You might as well get aggressive and be a have-a-go hero, but honestly, it could end your run here in 15th place, so you have to be careful. Pick your fights carefully. And when you do make the approach, make sure no one else can see you, because third party, in this kind of lobby, at this kind of level, is always a deadly possibility.
Now, keep your eyes on the circle. We've got it kind of centering up on, I guess you could say, Radio Tower Hill. You're looking around the kind of western fields that come off Gatka, south of Hospital. That sort of area is your central point. You do have play coming across the land now. TSM approaching from the east, but no. TSM? Rory? Do you have some sort of death wish here? Stop feeding, what is this? They roll up, they get out. TSM, there was no scouting, it was poorly scouted. I don't know which is worse.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because usually it's Gustav who'll be going off on a bike 9 times out of 10 and in the IGL to find a foothold here. This time round, they lose him instantly. Give QM a free point and a body box for some bullets and bandages should they need them. We've seen a big commitment here from Lazarus and Entus Ace, both teams going up onto the mountainside on the foothills. 4 AM, Tempo Storm. Even QM as well, if they move a little bit further up onto the main road, we could.
Uncivil's getting a little restless.
Yeah, I'm glad you've seen that. We could see engagements up here. If the rest of, there'll be Luke 12 and Halo, Purdy Curdy's off by, if you want to call it, just outside of the hospital.
Yeah,
on the
he's
hillside.
Kind of
so there will be a 3.
There's not much there. I mean, he's fine though. Okay, we're centering up. VC currently hold, and 4 AM, between VC and 4 AM, I'd say is one of the very strong positions. The southern side is packed here as well. You look at Entus Force now entering up as well. They're going to be close towards Na'Vi, Genesis, Tempo Storm. There's a lot of teams now looking their way. Uncivil was restless, but he does find one. Entus Ace tried to step to the hill, try and step a little closer, and they get punished.
See what more damage they can do. There's only 2 here, him and Luke 12 working simultaneously as a duo. The rest of them, Halo and Purdy Curdy in the distance. Did he tag it? Didn't quite see.
Ooh.
He wants it. Won't be surprised at this level some of these players. FaZe Clan are actually getting pulled up on. We might need to check in with them ever so soon because they've actually been...
Is this the Rumblers?
The Rumblers are rumbling up over on the west coast and there's only 2 players from FaZe. They're in a 2-2 split. This could be dangerous. Keep an eye on the kill feed in case that comes through. Yeah,
I'm looking at Mexi over there. I'm looking at, I think it may be Fuzzface. I'm not too sure. It's Uber over on this side. Excuse me. Cherry Poppin is there and we know the Rumblers will fight this. Oh, Uber's in so much trouble here. Arguably one of the best players in the world, you could say. He's been known for his individual play, and now one by one they come, and he just gets swept aside. The Rumblers absolutely enamored with the idea of taking on everyone in this lobby. Mexi's out.
Yeah, he just got emulsified. There was nowhere to even do anything. 3 really good clean and sweep from Rumblers, to be fair, rather than doing individual buildings one by one. They went as a team. Clear, kill, job done. Mexi's out. He's bailed on this. He will get a compound for the rest of his team to find him, but losing Uber, let's be real. Okay, we talk about team performances and we talk about individual performances. Uber is a man to be messed with. He is just such an individual performer, but it is a team game. We are at this level. You'll get these clutches in these scenarios where you can pull off the odd 1 versus 2, 1 versus 3, but as you've seen from the Rumblers, you are looking for teams to clean and sweep properly as a unit.
So unknown to TSM, they've kind of walked into the exact position Lazarus was just in. They were on the hillside. Lazarus had disengaged towards the hangars across from Hospital. On the side of Hospital, if you're thinking about the crates. So they've kind of done a bit of a switcheroo here. Lazarus have gone, you know what? I don't like playing off of that hill late game. I don't blame them. So they've been proactive, and I like that. That could be a smart play for them down the line, but my mind It's a little drawn to this. The beautiful moves, but it may not save you as ZGG is drilled in, dialed in, and he's got the range on that.
You shouldn't expect them to make a wild advancement on that. You're going to put yourself in open territory, and then maybe actually TSM could get involved. They will be cautious as well after losing Rory so early on.
The Rumblers, they're not done with just testing one of the greats. They fancy a shot at one of the best. Gen G, standing in the northern side, holding Hospital. You can see Microfry this time has been tamed for now. And the circle goes right towards VC. They sit center, you got 4am and maybe T1 around them. Lazarus not far off either. Hospital and the building opposite that currently Gen G reside in is very strong here too.
VC's position is formidable. Behind you, you have the hills. It's going to be rough to get across there. I would expect a few teams to make a hard pull-up on that. It will be difficult. Speaking of hard pull-ups, Milan's gone.
What?
Tempo Storm are just feeding the giants here. There's another one as well. Tempo, what are you doing? Why are you just driving into death's embrace?
Will anyone else fall foul to a similar move? Entus Force are looking for their home, and there isn't much here. It's time to start looking at divots and dips and anything that may give you a home. Some rest for the wicked as Entus Force do find a bit of placement. TSM forced to move up towards Entus Ace. Up on the hillside as TSM desperate to make a name for themselves after that first little bit of a disappointing start.
They've been there a while. How have they not scouted that? They've heard the shots. They've seen the players. Why would you go head over heels direct into that conflict?
Genesis moving up towards W-Click as well. I'm seeing pre-nades coming out. That's been lobbed. It's beautiful. It goes too far, but Profi and H-Win turn up and Harold waits. Through the smoke, he's trying to play it out. K-Mine's tag is there, but Harold's still trying to patrol around here. But Genesis, he's surrounded on all fronts. One nade. He's trying to feed it out, but it's just too short. And now he's dropping them down. He's found H-Win. Can he hold back the entirety of Genesis?
This gives him the information that he needs as to where their potential location is, but seeing the nade come out also feeds the info back to W-Click. As a Lone Ranger, you've got to hit the deck and hold for now. Itzy onto Microfy in the kill feed. That's a DP getting the job done. It's only a knock, it's not a confirmation. That could be across the building scenario as well. They're actually at the walls. I'm surprised they've come so damn close.
It's the Rumblers. We know they're up for a fight. Harold goes down. That was Nerf's nade, I think, hitting towards it. Fuzzface unraveling, revealing the Rumblers' plan as Waldo now starts to build. Looks for a way forward as it looks like the Rumblers have been tempered. With Microfry being knocked, they want that res. They want them back up. T1 is being engaged on, and it's a good nade, and they might have to push this.
It's a complete and utter mortar strike. That's two. We lose one off the back of it as well. Lost HD's gone. That's the conflict. Two different fights across this map. They are pushing. QM want to wipe T1 out.
Adder waits coiled patiently to strike. That hillside could be the downfall for QM. Once they breach, once they peek, he waits! He gets decimated! The trade comes in, but it's from forever! Way off in the distance. T1 trying to make this swift, but they can't handle the pressure. QM are on the verge of wiping them out.
They need to clean these kills up fast because 4am is just stealing! SK Telecom T1 13th place. Job done for them in this lobby. Rather unfortunate from two different teams, but that's what you have to expect. It's always a viable option. You have to watch every single angle, and when you're cresting on a hill like that, everybody can see you. FaZe Clan still getting the job done towards the Rumblers. Now we pop on board with TSM. They've already lost one in front of Rory. Michael's down as well. Enters Ace. They wait at the bottom of the hill.
I would say, look at the map here. I love the reposition from Mexi and HC trying to surround the Rumblers. It's moving northeast. We're going to have the foot of the hill and VC Lazarus still holding a great deal of cards.
Oh, Lazarus, why did you commit that hillside? Now
hey, they could sweep down this. I don't think it's the worst thing. Yes, Genesis can find them. That's the one problem.
That was the one player they needed. Purdy Curdy to have a look around and see what was what and get them some information, because Luke 12's not exactly in a great position himself. He has all of Gen G staring at him. Lazarus, and basically Lazarus enters Ace, TSM. They are all open to VC Gaming and 4am.
Na'Vi having nades in hand, not going to go well for themselves. Pokemolodoy is knocked. A doozy is dead in the water as Bestaloch is watching on. Senya not having the best of times either. They're just lost in the south with so many in front. QM and Genesis going to be holding them back, pushing them away, but Genesis have eyes on who's in front of them. K-Mind gets the flush, but can they get the rest of the squad just over this hillside?
Going for the flank, the creeping, they're all looking the opposing way. Fuzzface dead, Waldo, that's still the engagement with the Rumblers. Leaning on the side, it's go time now, they're moving up the hill, there's one, he strikes, there's the second! QM is gone, Genesis survive.
Huge performance, waiting patiently. Incredible discipline to not engage early. They waited for the shots as Bestaloch makes the last man alive run for Na'Vi. Heading southeast, trying to move into the foothills, trying to move towards TSM, but it is certainly not clear. Genesis now to make their run, but they're late as well. FaZe and the Rumblers mutually assured destruction out in the west side. Fuzzface fell foul to it, and it looks like they might fall altogether. The Rumblers still have two alive, and I'm seeing 8C trying to stop them.
Good work from TSM to get Michael back on his feet. They need to deal, unfortunately, with Bestaloch. PL team's fighting it out here on the outskirts of the circle. He's the one that has to make the run. FaZe Clan is eliminated. The Rumblers, they do the dirty on them. That's another poor finish, unfortunately, if you're a FaZe Clan fan. If they are in your pick'ems, you're going to be quivering now. The bullet's there, and it's time to dodge because it's time to run. Explosions in abundance. Genesis enters force. Go head-to-head for this radio tower position.
But Genesis have the blue on their back. They have to keep moving. It's step by step. They have to charge forward. Profi trying to do it. He's got the teammates beside him in the car. K-Mind's trying to send it up there, but enters way on the other side. They're dug down. They're in deep. Indigo trying to slow down the roll from the North Americans. Nerf's nade could be huge. If it finds its target, it bounces forward. It's good! The trade is there, though. Indigos did find Profi, so it's not without casualty. And the car, no, he's down to nothing. Indigo absolutely taking down Genesis, just about staying alive themselves.
Back to back, we lose two North American rosters. We also saw the Rumblers gone. Meanwhile, 4AM have been back building. They've been sat here watching all these engagements unfold. Finally, Circle will force them to move. Everyone else uphill, though. That's just easy pickings and easy points for 4AM. Michael is dead. That's the confirmation from ZGG. And there's still plenty of other people who have to make the run.
8 teams stand, Rich. 4AM scare me in this. Gen G scare me in this. Entus Ace scare me in this. There's a lot to be afraid of, and Na'Vi feels the force of that from 4AM. They're controlling the southeast side, but TSM's still the next target. It's in their sights, and they're working on it. You do have Entus Ace trying to engage as well from the other side.
Ira, he's a man who can in certain scenarios like this, but honestly, I think this one might just be too much. Play for placement, play for your life. If you can pick up a frag or two on the way, then why not? But when you've got all 4 members of 4AM that will soon have eyes on your position, and then directly in front of you have Entus Ace will hear your bullets, for these two rosters, it's hell, who can get Ira first?
Yeah, he's just about alive. It looks like he might be running out of options. That blue's going to force him forward, and there isn't much cover to play to beyond that rock. It will be open terrain, and you can see Forever eyeing it up. He wants to punish. He wants the kill. You can see the fire. Iro, a valiant attempt to stay alive, but they will go down in 7th with TSM.
Open terrain, open season. Honestly, there may have been an option there to actually give it up to the blue and not give away the points. Remember, you are playing against all these other teams, and if it's a no-win scenario, then why bother feeding the mighty giants that are already still just fighting tooth and nail? 11, I think 10 kills on the board already now for 4AM, which is pretty good after the performance in the last round. A team, though, that is having a dead to rights. The bullet just pings him in the side of the face. Alo has now also been spotted by Entus Ace.
Oh, the taps. Precision work here. There goes Lazarus. We're down to 4 teams now, 16 players alive, so you know there's some big squads in this. Entus Ace trying to step towards Gen G, and they have a big answer for that, and it's a resounding no. Do not dare try and come towards us.
All 4 players up for Gen G, same for 4AM. BC have a phenomenal position on this map. But they do have 1 player down. They'll have to stick the res, which puts another one out, and only 2 standing to keep a track of what's going on. Gen G now focused on another Korean team uphill, looking towards Entus Ace. They have to deal with this first. frees up the side. They've got more room to breathe then. 4am will creep and peep for now, but it's certainly Entus Ace who are in dire straits. Eventually, the tree line will give away their position, and they'll have to fight their way through.
Okay, the new circle hits. You do have the fact that VC have one building still in this, but they'll get a great deal of attention. 4am don't have much cover, so they might have to find the engage. It's time to consider what's your best way forward. How can we fight this? How can we not give it up? Entus Ace already hitting the deck. They don't want any of it. Gen G, if they try and move forward, they know there's a lot of eyes towards them, but Gen G at least have stepped in the circle. They're currently, arguably, having the vast amount of their team in this. Now, 4am are trying to put their sights on VC.
Summer's position is formidable here for 4am to make an entry point into this one. He can look through the little letterbox windows of that building. He's claimed the shack for himself, and single-handedly just keep poking at them, keep being a nuisance and hold them back. It would take a worldie of a shot to get him through that letterbox, hit him in the head. Mickey does go down, speaking ahead, Taman finds it. He's disconnected from the rest of the team, so they would have to commit one player to an open run. I don't think that's going to happen. You expect him to die. There he goes. Point does go their way. And now 4am are turning, as they are turning tails and trying to flee the scenario. Gen G in front, 4am in the back. Entus Ace are being crushed to death.
They can't deal with the pressure that's going their way, and it looks like 4am might mop up the final few. There's the play up from VC, trying to push themselves forward to get a better position, but under the car, there's no safety. You can't dance with the devil of 4am and not expect to get burnt. These guys are playing a scary game. They're fighting every step forward here. Gen G still hold a great deal of territory. This hillside is huge for them.
The taps keep on coming through. Both teams just instantly trying to jump at the bit and knock each other out before they get to that central point. Everybody playing edge here. All three teams left. 11 individual players. Gen G maybe. He's going for the res?
He wants his teammate up, and if you feel you can, why not? I guess they can occlude 4am, but I wouldn't like to be tussling with them. You've got to say Gen G's position, in my eyes, is still incredibly strong. It looks like Forever wants to punch VC. For this sort of play up here, going to take the tires out, limit their movement going forward, but it does mean they now have two players to worry about in that hill. It's finally moved away from Gen G. They can no longer use this hillside as their leapfrog point. They can't now work off it. They have to move forward. There are still trees. There is still cover. It's down to the marksman here. How good are you with those minis? How good are you with those SLRs? And how bad do you want this?
Nobody's inside the circle, and for all three of these teams, limited movement and limited utility eventually will become a massive factor. The tires have already been taken out from two of these players here. Forever's still holding the angle, hoping that one of them, I mean, he can basically stay here and stop it, them flushing from through the smoke. That's massive, whether or not they realize the connection was there, but now their teammate Dome might be able to finish the job.
Yeah, you can see ZGG being called into action. He needs to support his teammate. Forever's in danger, and you're seeing as to why. Already, way less going to connect a few, but not without an answer themselves. This is tit for tat. This is back and forth. DJ Boy's got barely any bullets.
No helmet either.
Forever trying to get that last heal off, and it is going to be go time. Gen G working their way forward. The smokes are out. The vehicles are here. Esther's working forward, trying to use those smokes for cover. Build a fort. Build a way forward. Forever trying to work in just about unison with the others, but the blue, they're still not safe.
He's sticking this position in a hope that VC turn on Gen G and maybe expose themselves. The blue will eventually force them out here. Look at this though, he's holding angle, he's ready for it. 4am, Forever, he was tracking the one player, there is an answer back though, tries to get away with the vehicle, knocks him out of so it's a good trade. Pawn for pawn now, they're moving forward. But the chess pieces, there's a limited amount, we're in an open field there here. The blue is forcing these engagements and Pio's creeping. How's he on this side of the map, Lauren?
Gen G still have all four alive, and Pio is coming alive. The beast from the east returns again.
Oh!
Pio! Huge play from this man coming in as VC are down to 2, trying to hold on to do anything they can, but Gen G look nothing short from God tier.
That is absolutely insane to push on the side like that, get the flank, and murder both of them. What a time to hit the headshot. This is incredible from Gen G.
It's a 2-on-3. You've got to argue this should be Gen G's game. Let's see what angles VC can play with here. Is there an avenue? Do they have smokes? I see level 1 vests. One more nade for VC. They're going to be putting it down and trying to work with it. Gen G hold the line. They hold the peak. DJ not looking so good, but a good nade does come out. But it doesn't feel like VC can get a foothold here. They're desperate for a way in. Uh-oh.
Power.
The Reaper's here. PO's arrived. 3 kills already. He wants more. He's out for blood, and he's already got it. The taste on the lips. He knows what's in front of them. Look at the HP. They're going to be in the blue any second now. They can't do anything. I think they've realized it. I think they know. It looks like Gen G have done it again.